I don't think you can be doing a good job and you're doing your clients a disservice if you don't know these 5 areas of online marketing. Hey everyone, I'm Emily Reagan, and you've discovered Unicorns Unite. This is a podcast for freelancers, service providers, virtual assistants, and curious listeners who would like to experience the freedom and flexibility of working virtually. We're the magic makers, movers and shakers, and the real people doing the work behind the scenes of online businesses. Welcome to Unicorns Unite. Hey everyone, before we get started, the VA Crash Course is now open. That's right, the doors are open. You can change your life, learn the foundations of online marketing, digital marketing, social media, and get job leads handed to you in a safe environment where you are free to learn, experiment, and grow your freelance business. Go to vacrashcourse.com to sign up, and I will be your mentor and guide over the next 6 weeks. We have some awesome bonuses. We have some amazing trainings and an even better community of unicorns. I hope to see you there. vacrashcourse.com. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hey, it's Emily Reagan. I am the founder of the VA Crash Course. It's teaching digital marketing and social media to virtual assistants and freelancers. I've been working behind the scenes for a good decade now, helping clients grow their business, doing the lead magnets, the email marketing, the WordPress stuff, helping all sorts of ways behind the scene, especially when it comes to launching. And I love this business because it combines a lot of things I'm good at, things that are creative, things that challenge my brain, and I get to put the puzzle pieces together in slightly different ways for every client. And I really love the work because it's work I can bring with me as a military spouse because I move a lot. We move a lot. I've never had a job longer than 18 months until I started freelancing. So I wanted to talk to you today about 5 things that every virtual assistant should know. And kind of the whole reason that I started my course was I was so surprised at other people who are working online who didn't have a solid foundation knowledge of digital marketing and online business, or sometimes people would have little areas of talent they were good at, but they just didn't see how it came into the whole picture. And one of my aha moments was when I was working on a very successful 7-figure entrepreneurs team, and we hired a couple of people onto her team, and they just didn't know anything. And I was just shocked that at that level that we couldn't find people, not that they aren't trainable, but I was shocked that we hired someone to help with the blog. She didn't know certain things about blogging. And I kind of got validation because at the time I was already training some people for my own team and things I needed them to know because it fit together. Like, you can't do Pinterest without knowing graphic design, knowing SEO, getting the whole picture of online business and what Pinterest is really trying to do. Like, what is the purpose? So that's how my crash course started. Just in case you're not on the waitlist, go to vacrashcourse.com. You can get on the waitlist. We are opening again in just a couple weeks for our fall/winter session. We kind of had an unusual year this year. And I'm opening up the course again after some time getting used to virtual school. In our county, they're all at home right now. And my sister, who lives down the street, I'm very lucky as a military wife to be living near my sister for the first time. They all go to a private school. So they're actually going to school a couple days a week. I'm a little bit jealous. So one of the things every virtual assistant needs to know is the basics of SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. It's how business owners get found online, how your website ranks, what searches are coming up, what people are actually clicking on. But it's really about knowing the keywords to use and to filter into your content so that your client's content can be found, so their website can get found, so their sales page, so their membership, so their offers, all of this stuff can get found. And SEO is really the basis for everything so that the work you're doing after that kind of builds on top of that. Like, if you have your SEO right, if you're doing all of your alt image tags right, if you're being purposeful with that, it comes naturally and it should almost be like second nature. Like, you don't even think about it. Every time you start a blog, every time you're doing Pinterest, every time you're creating a landing page, you're thinking about that. and you're incorporating that into your client's work. And from there, tons of niches in SEO. I have an interview with Tabitha. She's one of my students who started off. She's a nurse, OBGYN nurse, and she decided to completely niche down in SEO because it was such a easy topic for her to learn and get good at and master, and is such in high demand right now with clients. Because even myself in my own business, I don't have the time to go back and perfect all of it, kind of do little tweaks to improve my ranking. There's a bunch of stuff I would like to do with my own content. I would like to SEO plays into YouTube because that's a search engine. It plays into Pinterest because that's a search engine. So it's interesting because Tabitha has built her whole business off of doing SEO, which is actually really smart because SEO is not one of those services that has to be done like today, tomorrow. Your clients can wait. You can give them project timelines, and you can not have to be on call. So if you're a busy mom, if you're a military spouse like Tabitha, where your husband's gone a lot, it doesn't get you stuck where you feel like you have to like get work done and you're stressed. So SEO is a good thing. There's a reason I started a lot of my business doing Pinterest. It was something, again, it wasn't putting on a burning fire. I could sit down on Pinterest. I couldn't get to it every day. It was fine, especially with something like Tailwind. I could set it and forget it. I could schedule, I could batch edit way easier with that type of work. Whereas other type of work, especially when I'm in more of the content creation or the launch cycles or Facebook ads, it kind of requires checking in with the client every day, especially social media. Oh my gosh, how could I leave that out? It can require a lot of babysitting of your own work, which is kind of good and bad, right? So SEO is a great place to start learning. Tons of tutorials out there, tons of free stuff. You can dive into different learnings and YouTube videos, and there's tons of courses on it if you really want to go all in and make that like your mastery. But I would not start being a online business manager, any kind of project manager, any kind of content helper, social media helper, blog helper, any of that without understanding the basics of SEO. It boggles my mind that some people don't know that. And it's okay if you're not perfect, right? If you're not the master at it. Sometimes, well, what I teach is being the jack of all trades, being well-rounded and versatile. Your business owner is hiring you to come in, if you are a digital media virtual assistant, coming in to kind of do a lot of the work and do it fast, efficiently, cost effectively. And that doesn't mean having the SEO like the perfect thing. One person I like to follow for SEO is Neil Patel. He's a really good one. If you want to nerd out, he has a podcast. He does lots of stuff on there. Another area that clients, you need to have some level of mastery, some level of experience. You need to be able to go in and tweak and make changes with WordPress. Most clients use WordPress, and you have a theme in there. And once you get the back end of how that theme is different from each client, and once you get into the back end and get some experience, it's not as daunting. It's scary at first. You don't want to mess up somebody's website. And I'm not saying you need to be able to go in there and design a whole website from scratch, change out the themes, like do custom coding, not at all. Most clients start needing tweaks on some of their pages, moving around menu bars, like adding Instagram widgets to their footer, just updating contact information, and then blogging. And of course, creating landing pages. You kind of get into a little bit of a gray area when you start doing landing pages that are sales pages. There can be really good templates to do. Like, you don't have to be this high-level designer. There's a lot of good tools out there to make WordPress easy for you, but it does depend on the client's theme and just having that confidence to do it. When I started with Jennifer Allwood, I worked for her for 6 years and helped her get her business off the ground. And I learned a lot. And one of the things that was daunting was WordPress at first, but I kind of had to just fake it till I make it. Google stuff, figured it out. And everything, it was easily learnable. It was just having the confidence to say, yeah, I'll do it. Because at some point, clients have had a web person design and set up the website, and it's never quite perfect. Like they don't always have a strategic content plan. There's things to add later. Businesses are dynamic. They need to update things, add their Instagram account, things like that, right? So having a little bit of WordPress skill to be able to go in there and make those changes is good because their designers usually have left them by then. Usually there's not if there's a maintenance package with them, it can take weeks to get the designer to come in and do a little tweaks, and it'll cost him a fortune. So if you can go in there, have that skill in your back pocket, you can go in there and make some quick changes. And as you get better at WordPress, you charge a lot more for that because that is technical help. Cool thing is you have a group here to help you if you get stuck on things. And that's like the beauty of this community. It's the beauty of my student community and my work group where people can ask each other questions. And somebody asked me the other day, oh, one of my clients is having a big issue. She has a really old theme that's not updated. And I'm not a WordPress wizard by any means, but I told her, like, look, I talked to a lot of high-level designers for websites, and they all tell me Divi theme, just go with Divi theme. So I'm trying to convince this client to switch because I know, like, if everyone else is saying this is the best theme, like, I don't need to go learn the hard way. I'm going to go ahead and use that word of mouth recommendation. I'm a military spouse. Like, I don't have time to find the best hairdresser when I move every 2 years. I'm going to go in town, ask my friends, where do you go to the dentist? Where do you get your hair done? What's the best Thai food? Where do I get a massage? And then I'm in. Like, I'll trust those words of mouth. And the same thing goes with some like web tools and stuff on WordPress too. What I think can be the hardest about WordPress is, depending on the theme, like making it look good for mobile. Because remember, like 60, 70% people are on their phones. So your websites don't have to be all crazy. Same with your emails. They need to be formatted to look good on a phone first. I mean, most people are on their mobile device. So with that in mind, you can really kind of keep some of your things simple. I'll get into what makes a good landing page here in a little bit, but the third area, 5 things that a VA should know. 1 is SEO, 2 is WordPress. And the thing with WordPress, if you can do WordPress, you can do Wix, you can do Weebly, you can do Squarespace, you can do Shopify sites, like you can do it. Just getting that first mastery is good. WordPress is probably the hardest one. And then if you can branch out to something like Kajabi, that's like bonus, right? Hey, this podcast is sponsored by my very own GIF and sticker making workshop. Turn your clients' videos into GIFs, design branded stickers for Instagram stories, and master the art of making your own GIF for promo emails. This is fun unicorn magic that we can do behind the scenes easily for our clients. The workshop is 1 hour, just $17.99. The link is in the show notes, or go to emilyreaganpr.com/GIF workshop. That's GIF workshop. Back to the show. Third thing, email marketing. Business owners are supposed to be emailing once a week, and they need somebody who is not writing it, but at least formatting it, getting the tags right, getting some automations right, editing it, scheduling it, and getting it out the door, and then following up with sending to unopens or following up with whoever responds in the inbox. That's a big task. And it doesn't take that long per week, but a lot of it's like mind space. And the business owner knowing that they could just sit down and crank out the email and that you could just execute it in under 2 hours, it's such like a time saver. And it's really good to have this as one of the tasks that a business owner hires out, because down the road as they grow, they're really not going to want to be messing with it. They're going to need to know somebody inside their email marketing service provider, their ESP is what you call it. They want someone who's familiar with it and how it works and what the segments are and the tags are. And you get this experience by doing it. So I always teach, bring on a VA early on to start with some of those simple emails and then expand them to know more complex things, like when you're launching, setting up sequences and all of that. Email marketing is more than just doing an email a week, but there are nurture sequences, welcome sequences, all kinds of funnels you can build that include email as part of the delivery mechanism and the way to nurture the relationship. But one of the big email tasks that business owners need help with their VAs is creating that lead magnet. It's like a freebie. When somebody gives their email and then in exchange for their email, they get something free. And then the business owner's happy because they got the email of somebody who's interested in similar type products. Like it's a whole marketing thing. But bottom line, they need someone who can set up the freebie, set up the email, set up the form in WordPress, and then get them all connecting. So when somebody puts their email in the form, the right email and the right free thing goes to the right person, and then that person's tagged. So having somebody completely taking care of that is really a good way to go when it comes to starting your freelance business. With that said, the fourth thing is social media. We all know what a doozy that is. Social media is very time consuming, never ending. And even if you can come in and help out with half of the post for the business owner, maybe you just do the posts that promote the content that's been written ahead of time. Maybe you're doing the posts that are recycling older content or older popular posts. So business owners need so much help. I have seen, I'm thinking of Lisa here who does Kristen's posts. Like she uses some of the prompts that Kristen, the business owner, has paid for, and Lisa's doing the prompts and just making sure there's something every day for the business owner on Instagram, on Facebook. You can pull in Pinterest in there and YouTube. I think those are kind of extra platforms that you could join, but for some people it is their primary. But it's hard because it's like the hamster wheel of content. You're supposed to be emailing once a week, you're supposed to be producing new content once a week, and then you're supposed to be telling everyone on social media. So that's a lot for a business owner. And not everyone can do social media. There's some pitfalls about that. But social media is a doozy, and it takes writing, it takes knowing the business, it takes knowing the client's brand voice. It takes like purposefully trying to nurture relationships and engage people, and at the same time getting emails, getting people interested, creating buzz. It takes somebody who can write too. So this isn't just like pee on jobs. When I say virtual assistant, when I say digital media virtual assistant, I mean someone who's savvy in digital marketing and social media and can kind of step in and do it all. Social media is not just hiring a teenager to come in and do the work for you. So it's a lot of work and it's a lot of brain power to do that well. So we have SEO, WordPress, email marketing, social media. And the fifth thing that I think every VA should be well versed in is graphic design. And I'm not saying you need to be high level master's degree in graphic design, but you do need to have some basic elements, know some basic elements of design to be able to put something together to help out the business owner. PDFs, basic Facebook cover photos, basic thumbnails, basic graphics, basic Instagram posts that convey information. But there's a lot of little graphic design elements that don't require some vector artist to pop in at $100 an hour to do the design. And I'm not talking about logo design, I'm just talking about basic design to help a landing page, to help an email, to help get the client's business out. So this is why I call us the digital media VAs. It's a mix of all of these things. To do social media, yeah, you might have to do a little bit of graphic design. To do, even if you're doing like email marketing, you might need to come in and help promote that email, segment it in pieces and put it in social media for the business owner. There's so much crossover, and it's not just like, I only do this. Granted, you can get like that in your business. You can become known for the one thing. But what I teach is, how do you get known for the one thing? You got to do it. And what do business owners really want starting off? They kind of want the total package. It doesn't mean you're going to know every software platform out there. It doesn't mean you're going to be great at everything, but you can find a couple of the big items that you can knock out to help a business owner. And then if you do decide, yeah, I think SEO is my thing, like you start just getting more of those clients and you start saying no to the people who want the everything person. And you start dictating where your business goes. Like you're growing with intention. If you see yourself being the email marketing assistant who helps business owners, you could easily just work for one high level client like Jennifer Allwood. You could easily just do all of her emails, all of her list building, all of her launch emails. That could be your thing. But you could also help out several business owners, making sure they're getting out every week. Like your business could be your thing. And then you could be a copywriter on top of that. So that actually brings me to my bonus thing. So I think of a VA, every VA needs to have basic understanding application in SEO, WordPress, email marketing, social media, graphic design. And then on top of that, there's a big bonus, copywriting. I teach like a teeny tiny bit of like things to say, some formulas to follow, but I don't teach copywriting inside the digital media crash course. And that's because that is like a bigger doozy. What I am doing is offering a copywriting course from my friend to all of my crash course students. So all of my students now are hearing about Michelle Hunter's course. She has a course just for virtual assistants to learn how to do copywriting. I have heard of high-level entrepreneurs putting everybody in their team through a copywriting course. So if you can get smart on copywriting, then it will add so much to each one of these areas. Copywriting is involved in every one of those 5 areas that I brought up. And that's to take it to the next level. Do you have to have it? No. Will it make your work easier? Yes. It'll make your confidence easier. And honestly, VAs who know copywriting and who are good writers who can take that on and are confident about it can charge double. You can charge double, probably more, the more you book out. I can't tell you, I think every single one of my clients has had me do writing. And early on in my career, I made the mistake of like devaluing that and not realizing that that was such an extra gift to bring to the table, to know what goes on the thank you page, to know what to put in the welcome sequence, to just go ahead and write the post and write for my client. I did not realize that I should have been charging way more 6 years ago for what I was doing. So I'm giving you this gift now if you do have that skill. And then of course, copywriting is a whole nother area you can niche down. I encourage you, if you're in this group and you have some time, we have an interview with Brenna in the group. Brenna McGowan, she talks about copywriting. She has a done for you service, which I think she said she's getting away, but she has some high level services, done with you services for copywriting. There's another interview with my friend Linda Sadu. She does copywriting for personality types, and she does quiz funnels. And on top of that, Shanti Zach has a couple interviews here inside the group. Do they understand all of these things? Yes, they understand SEO, WordPress, email marketing, social media, and graphic design. So I encourage you to learn the basics of all of that. Do what you need to do to pull the pieces together. So when a business owner comes to you, you'll be able to confidently sell your services. You'll be able to charge a lot more than just a regular admin VA. And this is not, you guys, this is not $15 an hour work. It's not. When you start getting all this under your belt, you start charging over $20 an hour. You really quickly get to 30, then you get to 35. Before you know it, you could be a high level in any, like a niche down, charging $50, $60, $70 an hour. Hopefully by then too, you're doing per projects. It's a whole different way to talk about your freelance business down the road. But to get started right now, know those 5 things, okay? If you have any questions, let me know. I will be around. I encourage you to get on the VA Crash Course waitlist. That's at vacrashcourse.com. If you're one of my students, go check out Michelle Hunter's course. We have a special price for you. I'm actually going to ruin the surprise right now. We're going to be offering that copywriting course as a bundle for anyone who buys a crash course in the next couple weeks when we open the doors. It will be an upsell option. So anybody who knows they're committed will get it at that price, because in January, Michelle is going to be launching for real with what it's really worth, which is the $900 course for sure. The skills she's going to give you in that are going to be awesome. But the crash course doors are opening October 18th, and we are going to get started with week 1, October 26th. We're going to get going with the crash course. It's 5 weeks. You're going to learn all of these basics plus more. We cover webinars, we cover affiliate marketing, we cover online business strategies and funnels. We cover Kajabi. We cover so much. Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram. But there's a lot in the crash course. There's more than 5 things you need to know, but the 5 places are a good starting point. So I got to go. I have a meeting with Interact. I'm a new strategic partner with Interact, which is a quiz funnel program. I'm going to go chat with them for a little bit. We have a workshop coming up. I'm really excited, and I'll tell you more of that later. All right. I'll talk to you. Bye. Don't forget that VA Crash Course is now open. Go to vacrashcourse.com to enroll in our fall session. It's 5 weeks. We're covering SEO, we're covering blogging, WordPress, email marketing, affiliate marketing, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, live webinars. I have an amazing bonus opening to cover Shopify and e-commerce. You are going to have everything you need in your back pocket to be able to say yes to almost any client gig out there, to get your feet wet and start growing your freelance business. You're going to be booked out and you're going to be so happy you started this now, because come 2021, you're going to be far into the digital world and you're going to love it. vacrashcourse.com. I know you're up for the challenge. If you're a self-learner, this is for you. See ya. If you're ready to learn the digital marketing and social media skills that will get you hired online, head over to vacrashcourse.com, where you can learn about my 5-week program, the Digital Media VA Crash Course. Small business owners and solopreneurs want to hire someone who gets it and who can help them implement just about everything. They're looking for a magical assistant who does it all. With my comprehensive training, you can get your foot in the door and become a unicorn. Check out vacrashcourse.com. Services and some scaled, and this is your jam. Even if you're not, here, let me backtrack. If you can get smart on copywriting, I cannot believe, it just froze. Oh, sorry. Okay. That was iMovie starting. Hang on. Why is iMovie starting? Give me a second. I'm sorry. This is recording and my computer's just not happy with me. Spinning wheel of death. Okay. I think it's still recording. I can still talk.